What's good, YouTubers and YouTubettes? This is JBsports back again with another one. The Teofimo Lopez-George Kambosos saga continues. I don't think a fight ever been moved this many times, man. We're working on another date. Now, the last date was supposed to be October 4th. The fight was going to take place at MSG, Madison Square Garden. But wait a minute, there's a caveat. They was going to put that fight in a small room in the MSG, the Hula Theater. And that used to be where Vasily Lomachenko, a lot of his fights took place. When he was #1 on everybody's pound for pound list, everybody was calling him the Matrix. You know, saying he's the best fighter since Muhammad Ali. Well, when that was the case, he was fighting in a small room. If he was all that in a bag of chips, he should have been in the main room, you would think, Madison Square Garden. That's neither here nor there. The fight is now being lined up to take place in the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, aka Crooklyn, in the BK, Crooklyn, going down. I think they'll probably have a better crowd than they would have had at MSG. I heard the ticket sales were going horrible. Wasn't selling no tickets. Yeah, no. It wasn't going to be nothing but Teofimo's family there and George Kambosos' family there. From what I was hearing, it wasn't going to be nobody there outside of that. Even his homeboys were talking about, man, they had other plans, man. They talking about Monday night, man, I got to work. And when I get off work, man, I got to take my kids to the dance recital, and after that, me and my wife gonna go out to eat, and this, that, and the third, and wasn't even their friends gonna be there for that fight on a Monday night, going against Monday Night Football. This was a bad idea. You know, back in the day, boxing used to have a lot of their big fights on Monday night. That's when boxing was #1 in the sports world. Now it's a niche sport, so you don't need to be putting no fight on Monday night. But you gonna, if you want to make some money, you don't need to do that. You know, so that's just a good thing that it did get moved to October 16th. Now, last thing I heard about this fight getting moved to October 16th is that George Kambosos hasn't signed off on it. Teofimo Lopez, after originally saying he didn't want the date to be moved, he was firm on it being on October 4th. Well, Trilla's Ryan Kavanaugh must have picked up the phone and had a nice little conversation with old Teofimo and said, look here, man. You about to get that bag, the biggest bag that you had in your whole career, probably your last 3 fights total, what you finna make against George Kambosos. So just fall back, sit tight, and we'll tell you when and where. You're gonna get your money, but you ain't calling no shots. You know, you call yourself Mr. Takeover. Now you're gonna be Mr. Kickbacker. You're gonna kick back and let us handle this. It's basically what Ryan told Teofimo. Now, they're going to have to work out MSG, because MSG had that fight lined up for October 4th. They probably going to have to shoot them some money, probably send them some money on the escrow account, pay off that little debt, and then basically set the stage for that fight to take place in the Barclays, which I think is the best spot for that fight, man. You know, I think Teofimo Lopez is from that area, so they have a huge Puerto Rico population in Harlem, which is close to Brooklyn. So I think it's better for that fight to be in a Barclays Center than MSG. So we got a date, man. Hopefully nobody has COVID or anything like that to postpone this fight once again, man. Because this fight really needs to get out the way so the lightweight division can move forward, man. Because this ain't nothing but a mandatory fight. It's not actually a big fight. You know, before this fight was postponed for the second or third time, you know, Teofimo Lopez's promoter had cut a deal, wasn't even cut a deal, but a handshake deal with Teofimo Lopez's dad, Teofimo Lopez Sr. They had a handshake deal live on ESPN, live and in living color on ESPN, basically saying that once Teofimo Lopez beats George Kambosos, he will fight Vasily Lomachenko. And the date that they were targeting was December 11th, and that's Heisman Trophy night. As Top Rank Boxing has basically said, that's one of their best dates of their boxing calendar year per year. And they always put their top stars on that date. As we know, Teofimo Lopez fought on that date on the undercard of Terrence Crawford versus Igor Kambosos. That was on Heisman nights. Vasily Lomachenko has fought on Heisman nights. So Top Rank, they use that night to showcase their top stars, man. You got to be one of the top guys, top 2 guys under that that's up under Top Rank. That being Terrence Crawford and Vasily Lomachenko. And that fight has pretty much been put on the back burner. That fight's not going to happen. As Teofimo Lopez says, he's been there, done that with Vasily Lomachenko. He has nothing left to prove. He beat Vasily Lomachenko, in his opinion, in dominating fashion. Basically said Vasily didn't really want to fight the first 8 rounds. He was scared to let his hands go, and he was coasting to an easy win. And then he tried to let his hands go over the course of the second half of the fight. And he won some few rounds, but then in the 12th round, he got badly hurt, and then he went into retreat mode. Basically went in a fetal position, according to Teofimo Lopez. So Teofimo Lopez feels that there's nothing left for him to prove against Vasily Lomachenko. So that fight's not happening. Vasily Lomachenko is in negotiations to fight Richard Comey on December 11th. And that fight will go down Heisman Trophy night. Man, I don't know why all these people always call me every time I'm trying to do a video, man. It never fails. People calling me every time I'm trying to do a video. You know what I'm saying? When I ain't doing no video, they call here and there, but it seems like every time I do a video, I'm getting a call, man. It's absolutely ridiculous, but it is what it is. But hopefully the saga will end, man. This has been going on way too long. It's almost comical right now, man. This fight should have been happening. We should be looking at Teofimo Lopez either fighting Devin Haney for undisputed or going up to 140 pounds, chasing the champions at that division. Well, it's only one champion, Josh Taylor. And then you got Gervonta Tank Davis, who holds a regular WBA junior welterweight title. He should be chasing one of those 2 fights. He should be already got this fight out the way. But with this fight again getting pushed back to October 16th, it pretty much takes Teofimo Lopez out of the picture for fighting any one of those guys or fighting Devin Haney until at the earliest the first quarter of 2022. So we will see what happens and we will see what transpires, but that's the latest news in the Teofimo Lopez-George Kambosos saga. And hopefully the fight goes off on October 16th. Now, with it being moved from Monday to Saturday, it's gonna basically have the same format as the other Triller fights that happened on Saturday. They're gonna have live entertainment. They're gonna have musical guests performing. They're gonna have a versus battle. So it's gonna be much like when Jake Paul fought Ben Askren. They're gonna have a lot of popular acts that's performing on there. So you're gonna have Snoop Dogg. He's gonna be the boxing analyst. But who knows? He might even perform there. I know he's supposed to perform at the last what was that? The last Triller event, man. He's supposed to perform with Marvin Gaye. Marvin, oh, you light my sights on fire. Yeah, he was supposed to perform with old Marvin. You know, he was gonna do that virtual. You know, he was gonna do that. You know, remember when Natalie King Cole performed with her late dad, Nat King Cole? You know, they gonna do it something like that. They was gonna do that for the Snoop Dogg and Marvin Gaye. I don't know if they're gonna put that on with them. But I don't think they did that. I don't think that fight actually. I don't think Snoop Dogg actually performed in that last Triller event. So maybe they might put them on for this event. But either way, man, they're gonna have some of the most popular musical acts that's gonna be performing on that. And we're gonna have a versus battle. So it's gonna be a lot of entertainment inside the ring and outside the ring. So we'll see how the undercard unfolds. I don't remember seeing the undercard. They might already announced the undercard, but I don't think they have. Somebody can text me after this video if they got an undercard that they put together and let me know who's gonna be on the undercard. I doubt if they have put an undercard together. If they have, it must be real weak because I ain't heard about it. I wouldn't expect the undercard to be that great anyway. With the amount of money they're paying Teofimo Lopez and George Kambosos, I wouldn't expect the undercard to have a bunch of big names. Probably be a bunch of prospects coming up. They might have one maybe decent fight as a co-main event in the lead up to Lopez versus Kambosos. Or they might do it like they've been doing a lot of these fights. You might see some MMA fighters in the ring boxing, facing off against each other, facing off against retired boxers that ain't fought in 10, 15 years. You might have something like that going down, but I wouldn't expect, you know, some of the top fighters in a particular, you wouldn't expect none of the top fighters to be on that undercard. You know, you wouldn't expect to see any top 10 fighters facing off with each other on that undercard. I wouldn't expect to see that. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires, but that's the latest news, man. Subscribe to JB Sports, the man, the myth, the legend, and I'll holler.